I do. As a Christian, I want to bring everyone to Christ. That's my main priority. I want to wake everyone up. I want people to care. I want people to get back to traditional values. I want all of this. I love it. The right wing, they don't even realize it, a lot of right wingers, but they are inherently socialists, right? They don't like Islam because Islam forbids, debauchery and degeneracy, right? That's what they don't like it because Islam doesn't. Too many times I've seen the argument that we like drinking beer and we like, women's boobs, and that's why we don't like Islam. Like, just completely dumbed down, not even an argument, just nonsense as to why they don't like it. So, and they do see that if Islam was removed, Islam is in opposition to many of the things that I'm in opposition to, right? If Islam was removed, then that frees the way for all of that degeneracy to continue and prosper and flourish. And meanwhile, I'm there saying, well, hold on a minute, I don't like Islam. I think that's clear. But there's a lot of stuff that they disagree with that I'd align myself more with their beliefs than this extreme liberal, supposed right wing. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, and this is what I was saying about the black community, the kids nowadays. What they've done, the government, the establishment have very strategically stripped them of any identity, which they've done with everyone, black, white. The only people that have retained it are the Asians because they're Muslim, the Muslim community. I mean, they're Asian Christians, but largely black or white, no identity, stripped of identity, stripped of culture, stripped of heritage, nowhere to go, then susceptible to fall into, because you want to belong to something. Everyone needs to belong to something. Everybody has to belong. It's just an inherent nature of people. Unfortunately, the country has been stripped of its Christianity. So these people are devoid of God, of culture, of heritage. They need to belong to something.
They don't hate Islam. Okay, there's probably nothing about Islam that they really dislike. They're just not Muslims. Okay, they love the patriarchy. Supposedly, they claim they do. They don't really, but Islam is patriarchal. Islam has faith. Islam has family. They're having more kids than you can count. They don't allow anyone to fuck with them in their zones, right? Like this is what they want. They just don't like that they're not a part of the cool kids club.
Real quick, whenever I hear these anti-jihadi people talk about Islam, it almost makes me want to convert. They basically describe Christianity as liberalism, which I guess from my perspective, it is the foundation of that. And they describe Islam as this badass, globe-trotting, ass-kicking warrior cult. And I'm just, when I listen to these people who are generally just, Tommy Robinson types or, Sergei Trifkovich Christians or whatever, I'm just kind of like, where do I sign up for this Aryan warrior cult?
Yes, I remember you were very impressed by Nation of Islam, weren't you, when we went there?
Yes, we visited those people and found we had so much in common. Yeah, the West, if what you're defending on the West is like the non-aggression principle or individualism or something, then I don't know. Like, that's not the West. That's a West that deserves to die, in my opinion. That's a weak West. That's a it's like, these are our Western values: individualism and democracy and feminism and consumer capitalism. I mean, at some level, that kind of, you're defending nihilism at the end of the day. And in vis-a-vis Western nihilism, Islam is the strong horse. So I think the anti-jihad movement is terrible. I think it's also played out. I think Tommy Robinson's rhetoric just reeks of the first decade of the 2000s, the George W. Bush era. I think it's played out. It's an absolute red herring. We should just dump it.
I'd like to add, it's very, very intellectually simplistic for him to just blame everything on Islam as if Islam's inherently bad. As if Islam, he calls it whatever these appalling. As you know, I've written this book about Islam, which I look at the intelligence. I set it up just to look at the intelligence aspect, but the more I delved into it, researching the book, the more positive I kind of became about. I mean, Islam. It's very, very simplistic the way he treats Islam. I know that might sound a bit left wing to say. It is very simplistic, and in terms of promoting ethnocentrism and groups that win the battle of group selection and whose genes survive. As with all religions, but at the moment it's the main one doing it. It has a lot to say, and it's positive. So Islam is right about many things.